Simple interest, finding the principal. Recall we have a formula I equals PRT. In some problems we want to find the variable P, the principal of the debt, or how much we borrowed, or how much we invested. We could substitute and solve for P, plug in RT and I, solve for P, or we can just divide by RT on both sides once and for all and develop this one formula. And that way we can just calculate, substitute I, R, and T, use a calculator, and we have P for an answer. So that's what we're going to do. Here's an example. Let's suppose $128 interest is paid in 1 month at 4% simple interest. Find the principal. An example of this could be we have a mortgage, and during a particular month we pay $128 interest. We want to know what the outstanding principal is for whatever reason. That's an example. 1 month, normally we are charged interest on a monthly basis for a loan in which we make monthly payments. So first step, we state the formula. P equals I over RT. Second, we define the variables. Well, we have to define I, R, and T. The interest is stated. I equals 128. R is a simple interest rate expressed as a decimal, 0.04. And T is equal to the time. T is for time, is stated as 1 month, but it has to go in years. So we write 1/12, 1/12 of a year. Step 3, we substitute. P equals 128 in the numerator, 0.04 times 1/12 in the denominator. And next we have to pay careful attention to the calculator keystrokes. All right. Calculator over here. We're going to first enter the numerator, 128 divided by, want to divide by the whole denominator, so we're going to parenthesize this, parentheses, 0.04 times 1 divided by 12. And then we have to end parentheses. The parentheses tells the calculator do all these operations before we divide into 128. That's what this fraction bar says. Then we need to press the equal sign or enter, depending on your calculator. Now, as far as an answer, let me get my calculator out. 128 divided by parenthesis 0.04. And I have 38,400. That would be the outstanding principal, how much you owe, roughly a payoff figure. Call the bank, send them a check for 38,400. Your loan's paid off. So here's a second example. Let's suppose instead of 1 month, we use 31 days. We should get roughly the same answer. It's going to vary a little bit because 31 days is not exactly 1/12 of a year. It's a little more than 1/12 of a year. 30 would be a little bit less, 31 a little bit more. The problem is just going to change slightly. What do we have to change? Interest is the same. Simple interest rate is the same. This time we have to change to 31 over 365. And of course, when we substitute, this changes to 31 over 365. And our calculator changes a little bit. Times 31 divided by 365, end parentheses, equals. Now let's go ahead and calculate this and see what we got. 128 divided by parentheses 0.04 times 31. Oops, 128 divided by parentheses 0.04 times 31 by 365 and parentheses equals. Let's cross that out. I have 37,677.42 rounded. Okay, of course, the bank's going to use an exact number of days. The computer is going to calculate it that way. If we want a rough figure, it probably doesn't matter if you use 31 over 365 or 1/12. If you want an exact figure, well, you have to use the exact number of days between payments. Could be 31, could be some other figure. But nonetheless, and that's a good illustration of this formula. Chances are time will be in months or days, and you'll go through these exact steps for this objective, simple interest finding the principal. So that's all for this video.